Paloma and Smith are two con artists who make a living by renting other people's apartments, then subletting them to several tenants at once and disappearing with the money. For their next scam, Paloma rents a large Brooklyn apartment from the respected neurosurgeon Dr. Djimon. This time, however, the plan goes wrong. A potential client tries to rape her and nearly kills her. Djimon comes to her rescue, but not out of pure goodwill. He needs a donor for an experimental operation. Darren Lynn Bousman is a respected horror filmmaker whose career, however, includes both notable successes and clear failures. He was one of the people who turned Saw into a full-fledged franchise, taking over as director from the second installment. He made the intriguing horror musical Repo: The Genetic Opera, and he directed the excellent slasher Mother's Day. In the 2000s, though, most of Bousman's projects missed the mark, and his attempt to return to Saw, which he had left after the fourth film, with Spiral, was an outright flop. Twisted, unfortunately, does nothing to reverse this trend. It's a visually striking but fundamentally broken thriller, where so many things are flawed at the conceptual level that the director had little chance to fix them in execution. The film's main character is Paloma, and the core problem lies in how she is conceived, written, and performed. Essentially, Twisted uses the same setup as Don't Breathe, a slasher in which a thief becomes trapped with a blind psychopath. Yes, that heroine wasn't a saint either, but we quickly connected with her because of her courage, her convincingly played vulnerability, and the fact that she was up against a far more dangerous and brutal evil. In Twisted, Paloma is a textbook product of the age of individualism. A young woman convinced that because she experienced a personal tragedy, her family died in a car crash 3 years earlier, the world now owes her something, and she has a moral license to behave however she wants. She sees nothing wrong with systematically scamming people, yet reacts with wide-eyed outrage when someone tries to rape her. This broken moral compass extends to her friend Smith as well. Suspecting that something has happened to Paloma, she picks up a random guy, feeds him a story about her friend being abused by her husband, and sends him into Djimon's apartment, fully aware that this could end very badly for him. Neither of these women inspires any sympathy. They challenge society without really needing the money, justify themselves through psychological trauma while dismissing the trauma of others, and demand empathy solely because they care about each other. That isn't enough, especially since the antagonist isn't pure evil but a doctor trying to save his wife by performing an experimental surgery. When he starts explaining his point of view, pointing out that Paloma would have bled to death if not for him, you can actually see the logic in his argument. As a result, Bousman is forced to inject Djimon with a dose of madness. He has hallucinations, flies into rages, and periodically converses with his comatose wife. And here we arrive at Twisted's second major problem. It's simply impossible to believe. It's hard to believe that a neurosurgeon with such obvious issues wouldn't attract attention. It's hard to believe that the police wouldn't catch two idiots who never hide their faces and constantly refer to themselves by the names of characters from classic literature. And once you start thinking about the plot details, everything falls apart. It's not even clear why Djimon decided to rent out his apartment in the first place. Bousman knows how to work with visuals and how to build thriller tension, and while Twisted lacks the overtly sadistic edge of Saw, there's still enough graphic brutality here to keep genre fans from getting bored. He plays with color, introduces neat cinematography tricks like a sharp camera tilt whenever characters have a realization, and gradually narrows the frame with each act to increase the sense of claustrophobia. But none of that matters if the story doesn't work on a basic level and you don't care about the characters, and that's exactly the case here.